Turning out to be a bleak festive season, plagued with problems, Eskom says power outages will continue for the rest of the week. The country's power utility says technical problems and persistent rain have led to several coal handling challenges. Eskom moved to stage 6 load shedding yesterday, whatever that means. For the first time, which meant it had to remove more than 6,000 megawatts of power from the national grid or face a total blackout. Load shedding today is at stage 4. But persistent rain has caused flooding at the Camden power station in Mpumalanga, forcing it to shut down, adding further strain to the system. With rolling blackouts still a reality, South Africa's sluggish economy is now under even more pressure. Mining companies, once considered the backbone of the economy, are also taking strain, unable to rely on an uninterrupted power supply and not prepared to risk workers going underground. We'll unpack that story for you across the day.
We also hope we will be in a position to get better weather conditions, that this amount of rain is not something we could have prepared for. The rainfall in the areas where our power stations have been has been such that in one day we've had more rain in those areas than they have in their rain season. The effect is it flooded all our open cast mines. It has flooded some of our mines. We had to shut down Camden, which the whole power station was flooded, and the impact of rain manifests on the coal side and also on the ash dam side. So these rainfalls have been unprecedented. So we are working hard to ensure that we don't find ourselves in this situation again.
Well, my colleague Liabo Setho is at Megawatt Park, the Eskom headquarters. One of the biggest questions I always ask Liabo is, does that Eskom building itself ever get load shedding?
Arabile, good afternoon. My time covering Eskom for many years, I have witnessed once or twice or maybe 3 times seeing Megawatt Park being load shed itself while I was working here. So I can confirm that they also do get load shed. But today, this is not the case. Of course, as you've already said, we are currently at stage 4 of load shedding. This is, of course, a little bit low, 2 stages below stage 6 that we found ourselves in yesterday evening, which was quite unprecedented. And of course, a lot of panic, I must say. Just to give you some interesting numbers for you to ponder over, Arabile, Eskom says that by 5:43 this morning, 15,200 megawatts had been gone due to breakdowns. So their aim is to get unplanned breakdowns down to 9,500 megawatts. If they get the breakdowns down to below those megawatts, the 9,500, it means that we may see that there would not possibly be load shedding for the rest of the week. But as things stand right now, we are still at stage 4 until 11 o'clock. This means that you will still have 11 hours of uncertain power. If you are a business, if you are at home, the lights could go off at any time, because remember that stage 4, obviously, they shed about 4,000 megawatts of power at any given time. And you've mentioned it in your intro, Arabile, about the impact this has on businesses, particularly the mining companies, some of those who are obviously intensive energy users, and they've had to cut production. This, I suspect, was going to have an impact, particularly on those GDP numbers for the 4th quarter of 2018, where we'll see how the economy will have taken strain, because unconfirmed numbers say that around 2 billion rand is lost daily due to load shedding, and that is at normal rates of stage 2 of load shedding. So you can imagine, if we are now stuck at stage 4, this means that more money is leaving the economy. What does this say to investors? The COO of Eskom, Mr. Jan Oberholzer, took us through the IGCC room. This is a room that has lots of monitors that shows you which of the power stations are currently working, which units are down, which units are up. And he says that what they're trying to do at this moment is to make sure that the units are up and running. But as things stand, we are still languishing in stage 4 load shedding. Arabile, it's back to you in studio.
Thank you so much for that, Liabo Setho. We'll cross to you across the day, of course, and hopefully in the belly of the beast, we may find the answers we need. South Africa in dire need right now for some solutions. My colleague Liabo Setho there.